Hi, guys. It's going to blow your mind how much stuff we've got going on tonight. We've got a new hunt. We've got Froggy with a technical clue, and we've got Tyler Young. So we're not going to waste time talking about what we're going to talk about. I'm Emma.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jam, and we are Treasure Hunt with us. And that's right, it's going to be an amazing day. We got so much to talk about. And let's jump right into the brand new hunt. What is it? Countdown Treasure. Here we go.
Hey, guys.
Well, Adam, we're so glad to have you here. You're a local guy. We both live in this Charlotte area. We were up in Lake Lure this weekend. Scott found this hunt, and he's like, we got to both jump on and become legends. I've always wanted to be a legend. Now you've given me an opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for joining.
Absolutely. Tell us your origin stories. Tell us what got you into deciding to be a treasure hunt creator.
Yeah, it was not intentional, but much like how you were saying, you came across Countdown Treasure the other day. Last year, I was reading Wired.com and I saw the big splashy entrance that Jason made with Project Skydrop, where he blindfolded the reporter and walked him to the scene of where he was going to have the hunt and unblindfolded him and placed the treasure down. And I was so impressed with like his setup there, and then also with the mechanics of it. I started on day one, and me and my kids followed it the entire time. And actually, we were planning to have a long, because that was in Boston. The Project Skydrop was in the Boston area. We were planning to have a long camping in the car trip up there to try and hit a couple of the trails early the week after the second weekend. And then that's when it was found. So the afternoon that I was packing the car up for us to go, it was found. But the entire time I was thinking, the kids were disappointed, but we went and camped nearby instead. It's still in the car. Nice. And that was the first time we camped in the car, and I was squunched between them, and I really had to go pee, but they had fallen asleep, so I didn't realize realize that downside of car camping. But the entire time I was thinking, hey, this is such a good game mechanic. He was a game designer, or is a game designer, and just had, obviously, he said he had worked on it for a few years, and it was obvious that he had really thought through all the components. And then I thought, I really think this would work in the Blue Ridge area, in our area. Right. We are mountain people. We have hiked, so many of the trails in Virginia and North Carolina and Tennessee. And so I kind of just got it in the back of my head, and I kind of started saving up money and slowly but surely accruing all the things that I knew that I would need. And then a friend of mine here in Charlotte runs a newsletter called Tiny Money. So I reached out to him a few months ago as kind of a forcing function to kind of, I said, hey, I'm going to do this on this day. Do you want me to launch it on Tiny Money? And he said, yeah. And so then I had my deadline, and I just tried to finish everything up until then. So it was the desire to try to take a really big swing. I have an e-commerce company that is all about coins. And so it felt like a pretty good thing to kind of tie together a little bit. And I thought it'd be really fun. So far it has. It's been a really awesome kind of start here. We're wrapping up day 7 now. Tomorrow will be day 8. And the community has really grown, and it has been as much fun as I hoped it'd be. The weather has been amazing. So everything so far, so good, knock on wood. And I hope that everyone keeps having as much fun with it as they've been talking about.
I'm loving it. Just so you know, Jim, go ahead and show the map. I hope you don't mind. We put the map up. We're going to put the map up of the 100 miles of today, because I know you can see it online in the free.
So there's the website. I posted it and stuff like that. This is the website. You can see right there that right now the search area. Let's see if I can zoom in on that.
It's 100 miles.
Yeah, I didn't describe it. You want me to kind of do
I was going to say, do you want to
spiel?
Tell us how your hunt works?
Yeah. Sure. So I modeled it on Project Skydrop pretty closely. So the idea is that on the first day of Countdown Treasure, the map here that you're looking at was 420 miles in diameter. So it touched all the way up to like Ohio and all the way down to South Carolina. And every day it shrinks. So if you go on the FAQ of the site, you can see like the exact numbers every day. But today, day 7, it shrunk down to 100 miles. Yesterday, it was 130, I think. So tomorrow, it'll be 87. And the treasure is somewhere in that circle. So that is the clue that anyone who signs up for free will get every day. And then Jam, if you scroll down a little bit. And then the second one would be the webcam itself. So there is a live web.
He's just got a picture that I sent to him, so he can't. I gave you so much more.
Look
than
at
I
that.
thought.
Look at that.
Yeah,
So-
look at this
so-
already. Go ahead.
Yeah, the number we're looking at here, when I put the gold down, it was just over 25,000, but that was in the end of September, and gold has now gone up about 8%. So
Gold
I kind of
is flying up.
yeah, I cautiously raised the value of the treasure by about 4%. So now it's 26,000 and some change, and then the side pot is a little over 10,000. So whoever finds the treasure sitting on the forest floor will win the gold, obviously, but then also the 10,000 and change in the side pot. So their total prize package will be that. And then that, thank goodness, is the treasure sitting there. You can see the timestamp that was taken about 15 minutes ago. And you can come to the website anytime, day or night, and see it sitting right there. Know that it's still there. You don't have to plan a big trip without it being there. It updates every 10 minutes. And the only other clue available is an aerial shot. So while the map shrinks in and gets smaller and smaller, if you kind of upgrade to the premium, and that's what helps contribute to the side pot, $10 from every premium sign up contributes to the side pot, then you can get an aerial photo that is rising higher and higher. So as the map shrinks smaller and smaller, the landscape that you see in the aerial photos gets bigger and bigger. So eventually you might see, a rock that you might recognize, or a tree that looks a little out of place or something like that you can maybe spot while you're out on the trail. So those are the three clues. There's no like hidden clues in my messages or anything like that. The idea is, pick a spot on the map that you think maybe fits the criteria and then go. It is not on the trail. It is just off the trail, because obviously if it was on the trail, someone could stumble on it, but it is not far off the trail. If the treasure was the way I've described it, if it was 6 feet tall, you could see it from the trail. Now, it's not 6 feet tall, of course, but you don't need to go bushwhacking with your machete through the brush to find it. You can step off trail a little bit, maybe, take several steps in on an open area, because from the aerial photos, you can see that it's pretty wide open. It's not like stuck inside of a bush or anything. So if you're in the right spot and you look around a little bit and it looks kind of like an open area, then venture in and see if you see something. But
we were
if it's
today that I'll trip over it. So
yeah,
I'm going to trip over it.
If it's an ecologically sensitive area, stay out of those. It's not in a swampy area or anything like that. It's not. You don't need to boulder. You don't need to wade across a deep stream or anything like that. It is more straightforward than that. But the one thing it can't be is sitting directly on the trail.
I'm about to ask you about the hurricane thing, but what was it like leaving just all that gold just sitting out there, walking away?
Oh man,
walking away from a jar of gold.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of prepared myself, right? My wife, not quite as prepared as I was, but she has been an amazing trooper. But it's since I am kind of tying it to my e-commerce shop a little bit and saved up through the business. I kind of justified it to myself as a marketing expense. But yeah, it was really tough. It was, all day out there getting all the stuff I needed to get done, setting up everything. And then I just had to take off and make sure that no one was around. So there's a lot of aspects to it that you have to try and keep in mind. I felt I was pretty nervous on that first day that someone might just come right across it. But so far, so good.
Yeah, so you are also doing this and you're help raising for the hurricane relief. So your goal is $20,000. That's amazing. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So it's kind of a big, hairy goal. It would be, $2 from every premium sign up goes towards the goal. But so what people have asked me over the last several days is if we can have kind of a way to just give however much people want to give. So now that the community has gotten so much larger. So hopefully, I'm working on it tonight, actually, after I get off with you guys. I'm going to keep working on it. But there will both be, I'm working on some merch where all of the proceeds go towards that fund. And then I'm also working on just a contribution form to where people can contribute as much as they want. And then I'll go directly to that. If you scroll down, you'll see kind of the tracker. So we passed $2,000 today, which is awesome.
Nice.
But still a ways to go for the 20. And so the idea being all the merch will go towards that, and then all of the side contributions. And also, I'm working with my wife right now. She works with nonprofits, and so she's helping me go through both people's suggestions, and then also we are looking into a handful of where we think the money would be best spent. And when we launch the extra contribution area in the merch store, we're also I'm going to update the hurricane relief page of the website and also post on the community and everything where the money will be going. And then I'll be documenting that process afterwards. We'll be taking pictures of handing off the checks, and then hopefully get some updates about how the money was spent. So obviously, project. Yeah. I was really happy to see it pass 2,000 a day. Project Skydrop started right after Hurricane Helene, and so I knew that we needed to wait. I had the idea for doing this then, of course, but knew that we'd have to wait. And so I was really excited to be able to try and give back because, Emma, we were talking right before we started how you were just there. We were there several weeks ago, stayed in a hotel that was still surrounded by restaurants that were totally closed down. So, I feel like I don't necessarily think that people have forgotten, but I do think a lot of people have moved on. So I'm excited for us to be able to try and help those that are still trying to recover.
Yeah, we love the giving back, right, and helping small communities and things like that. And I love that you have a sponsor; people can sponsor and stuff. It's a really good website.
Thank you. Yeah. So one of the cool things that I'm hoping to get a couple more sponsorships in, where we do kind of like a raffle amongst the community, so people can enter in to get with the fly fishing. It's $250 or $150 off of a fly fishing expedition. By entering the raffle. So I think if I do this again, I think that'd be a really fun aspect to it, is to not only make it to where there's not just one treasure, right? Have a bunch of raffles throughout to where if you sign up, you have a chance to win other stuff in addition to the kind of the big prize.
Right. So
and it's a great way.
What we're going to do to contribute for that is tonight, when we're done, guys, everybody's going to comment on the video countdown, and tomorrow at 4:00, we'll do a randomizer, and we will give somebody a legend status. Just totally
awesome.
give it away, so that people. And I want to remind people that this is a North Carolina hunt. So if you're far and you don't think you can do it, maybe you don't want to participate, just to give more people who are local an option. But you'll comment with the words countdown in this video once it's up. And tomorrow at 4 p.m. What do you think, Jim? Is it Pacific or Eastern?
With space, without space?
One word, countdown, one word.
Okay.
Oh, look, my brother hates when I do things on the fly.
Yeah, I hate when you do stuff on the fly.
I can tell by the low guttural noises he was making. And so also we haven't mentioned it, but legend status also gets you a free commemorative coin. So I will be sending out to all the legends. I'll be sending out a sign up after the hunt's over. I'll have to wait till it's over because goodness knows there's enough other stuff to do. But it'll ask a survey will ask if you want it. If so, you can put whatever name you want on the coin, and then it'll ship out for free to the address that you fill out to. So I kind of wanted to do something a little different with the commemorative coin, but it's a 2025 countdown treasure coin.
Well, I just love it because I get the clue 2 hours earlier than everybody else, and I always want to be the first person to get the clue. Always.
Yeah, and if we come down to the wire, then that might that it might matter. So.
Well, and I was telling my boss, I think I'm getting sick if I get close. So I might get a little tickle in the back of my throat. I had to go get a treasure. But
I had to take the day off on Wednesday. Yeah, I had to take the day off on last Wednesday to actually get everything all set up. So.
That's awesome. Well, I'm blown away by how many people are already out there hunting. As we're shrinking the area, I'm like, this area is vast, but to your point, people are really excited about getting out there and really seeing the beauty of the Blue Ridge Mountains, which is just, it's almost indescribable.
Beautiful. And who knows, what's it called? If you're out, some people are like, hey, I'm thinking about taking a trip for TTI, there's treasure inside. Some people
Yeah.
think that's in the Blue
Yeah.
Ridge Mountains. So if you're out there doing that, I would try to do both. I would try to
Right.
make both work.
Absolutely.
So if you're thinking about
I
coming up
was
for TTI, sign up for this hunt too.
Yeah, I was
Absolutely.
heads down and wasn't didn't know that was going on. But several people have mentioned that they're doing both, so I'm glad that it works
Oh
out to be
yeah.
both.
I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of doing as many hunts at once as I can because I never know where I'm going to be in the country, and I'm like, oh, what can I look for while I'm here? And it's just a great
Yeah.
opportunity.
So since you guys know, is there a place to go that tracks all the hunts? Is there
I
like
go to
an
Treasure Hunt with
organized
Us
area?
Discord.
Yeah,
That's where I
there it
go.
is. There it is. Okay.
No, I mean the reality is there's a few hunt communities like Estes Quest, his community also. We all kind of share the knowledge and just do what we can to kind of keep them all together.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's
You
awesome.
know. But we're so grateful that you stopped in to tell us about this. We're gonna
We're
Yeah.
excited.
do
Thanks for
everything
having
we
me.
can, and we'll keep making sure we update people about your hunt. You have your own room in our Discord for people who want to jump on and talk through it, and talk about search areas and clues. And I think you're gonna find that the excitement that this community brings to it is amazing.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This weekend is going to be really fun. I hope. And
Yeah, I
the
won't be
weather's
out
still going to be
there.
beautiful.
I'll be
Look
out
for
there this
her on your
weekend
live
looking.
webcam. I'm just gonna be watching all day, waiting to see.
I'm
her
gonna be like,
face.
is that the
I
live
love it.
webcam?
I want to go out there too, but I'm not sure that
Can't
might throw
do
some
it.
people off if they see
Can't
me
do
around there.
it.
I'm just
We'll
gonna go into
follow you.
random. I'm going to random trails. I'll just be sprinting through.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, thank you so much for jumping
Yeah,
on
thank
and
you for having
sharing
me.
your
It was
great
great to
hunt.
meet you guys.
We will make sure that tomorrow we will go ahead and we will sign somebody up so that they can jump in and be a legend member as well, and they can get the clues 2 hours early because every hour counts, every minute counts
Awesome.
when it's a short
Agreed.
campaign.
Yeah.
But thank you
Well,
so
Well,
much
go
for
with
jumping on
eyedrop.
to
it was great
share
to meet you.
share with us. You as
Yeah.
well.
Y'all have a
Good
great
luck and
night.
congratulations.
Thank you, and good luck to you guys too. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, guys, we don't have much time. You want to just bring Froggy on? He can
Well,
put
hold
me
on. No, we got a few things really quick. Hold on,
Right.
Froggy. First of all, good Elkin. Thank you so much.
What?
You do not have to do that.
You're so great,
Enjoy the
guy.
moment. It is key that you can't speak wiser words, man.
mean, those are pretty
exactly
wise.
right. We appreciate you so much, man. You didn't
As
have to do
always.
that. And then also, Chad Bird's in the house.
Chad in the house.
The creator of trezor.quest, the treasure hunt.
Chad,
played
oh
a
my
lot of
gosh,
fun games.
I will email him and I will let you.
I have a 5
know.
a.m.
He's
start
fantastic.
tomorrow, but wanted to drop in and tell this guy to hit me up and we'll sponsor. Cheers, mate. Oh, I should have did this while I was on.
I didn't even
will
see
get
it.
hold
I'm
of him.
so sorry.
We're emailing him
in the moment.
Hey, we'll email him and take care of that, Chad. You're so generous,
And Chad,
man.
thank you
God is
as
so
always.
generous. We have more stuff to talk about, but we can't because I see this handsome gentleman with a beard.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
right there. Look at
Bearded
that.
frog in the house. Oh my
The
gosh.
bearded
Okay.
frog. Thank you,
Froggy.
Chad. Thank you, Goodellkin. You guys are great. And the
Always.
man coming out
Okay.
with a
We're
live
going to get
video
into his
today.
stuff in just a second, Froggy. We're so excited you're here, but we never want you to just sit in the shadows. And also, the other word I
Shadowed sight. I'm okay with it. Shadowed sight.
Yeah.
Shadowed sight. But let's just run through. We're going to run through some quick news updates. First,
Yes.
Medina. I'm sorry. I'm dressed in my work clothes still. Sorry. I have not had a minute to change into normal, regular human being clothes. I have to be a professional sometimes. But we're going to run through some stuff. We were going to do a marathon this weekend.
Well,
Through
you did. I like how you say first Medina, but then you didn't finish. Medina.
Medina, I've never done anything harder than trying to figure out how to put stinking sand onto a treasure.
We couldn't do it. She went to buy sand. She blames this, but you actually are getting Ethereum, so you're gonna get $50 worth of Ethereum.
Sorry about that. It'll go into the mail tomorrow. That's what's happening. Our marathon from this. Oh my gosh, Jam in his t-shirt.
You see that?
I'm
Who am I?
Justin's
People ask who I am.
brother.
And I'm looking. I'm Justin's sister's brother. So if people want to know who I am, I'm Justin Posey's sister's
so
Emma
ridiculous.
brother. That's who I am.
You are so ridiculous. Okay, marathon this weekend on Saturday is going to need to be postponed until after JCB's first birthday. That's coming up. Oh, Indy, thank you. I had to take a shower today for work. They make me do that. Okay, but JCB's first birthday. Good. Don't forget, we're going to be dropping. Jam, you need to just stop. I'm trying to do the news as fast as possible.
Go.
Okay. JCB's first birthday interview, we will be dropping it on the 12th of November, which is his birthday.
His 1 year anniversary of his hunt. We are doing on the 12th. We have a lot, not live. Sorry. We will have an interview with JCB, and we might go live afterwards. So we might
We will
drop it.
definitely go
and then
live afterwards.
An hour later, we might go live and talk about it. So it's
I'm
going to
gonna
be
have
fun.
to reach out to Cake because I've got so many questions, but I bet Cake's questions are better than ours, or
She
at least
always
some of
has
them,
good
right?
questions.
She's got great questions, but
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, and then don't forget, Froggy and I will be in the Poconos on the 8th. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I did want to tell you about my blouse. I buy high quality clothes on the Amazon because I'm really bad at shopping.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so on the 8th, Froggy and I will be in the Poconos for a meet and greet with Jenny from Mysterious Writings. There's a ton of data, and I probably should know where it is, but I don't. I just know that it's in Pennsylvania in the Poconos. So I will get you some information next week. I just didn't have it on my post-it note, the exact location. I know that it's a brewery that starts with a B. That's official information right there. Do you know, Froggy?
I do, but I also don't have it with me.
Hey,
It's a
that
brewery
makes me feel better.
It's a brewery
near the border.
near the border
and it's in the
of
Poconos.
Pennsylvania.
It's Pennsylvania, and Jenny will be there. Okay.
It starts with a B.
And then, guys, this is important. The path is officially opened. And Alice was the first to walk in the shadow of the Weaver.
That's rude.
Did I say that
Nobody
correctly?
cares about my shirt.
Literally, nobody cares about your shirt. I love your shirt. Everybody
Thank
cares
you.
about your shirt. They cracked me
Thank
up,
you.
Jim.
Gmail user.
Gmail user. Okay, that's cool.
Good.
That's fine. But that's important. So Alice is the first one to walk the shadow of the Weaver. I have no clue what that means because unfortunately I've been busy, and I know that Indy has launched this tremendous hunt, blown away by all of her hard work, blown away by, the support of this community. And get in there, guys. It's all the things everybody always wants to talk about.
Yeah.
For
All right.
sure.
We got the man on.
Is that all the,
I'm gonna drop his videos.
All the news? That's all the news. There we go.
That's what we're going on. Here we go. This is the video everybody's gonna want to go watch after our live, not now, after our live, because not only do we have Froggy on, Froggy's gonna stay on when we have Tyler Young on in about 9 minutes. We're gonna have Tyler Young on too. So Froggy's got 9 minutes to help explain.
Oh my God.
Oh,
What is this insanity? Okay, and where's Newt when I need
Blackbeard.
him? I think Newt's a cutie, so
Okay.
Okay.
Matey, tell us about the technical clue.
Okay, technical clue. 9 minutes. Okay, so
You got this.
I got this. So a lot of people are saying they found it different ways. I guess so we don't clue edge, right? I should just go out and say it. The technical clue, as I see it now, is a audio clue, and it's a phrase. I think most people already have the phrase. It's been played out. One of the clearest sounds I've heard it is Mark. Mark does excellent.
Mark from San Diego.
Mark from San Diego. Yes.
I love Mark from San Diego.
I call him Mark.
He's
I don't know
awesome.
that many Marks, but if you know a lot of Marks, he's Mark from San Diego.
I have a collection.
You have a collection of Marks. That is true. So, and he posted it in your channel. He posted it in Mysterious Writings channel, and it's one of the clearest versions I've heard. And so I think we can post that later. But yeah, the actual message is the key to one direction lies in another. So I'm thinking that is, if you were to say, hey, what's the technical clue? Well, the technical clue is the key to one direction lies in another. Now, there's been all kinds of steps on how to get there. A lot of people have done great work. A lot of people have shared their work publicly. A lot of people have shared their work privately. I think one of the main themes is if you post that if you're looking into something, it's very mysterious. You get like approached mysteriously, like, oh, hey, I see you're working this angle. Let me help you out. But DC has done a great work by posting, and he put it on GitHub. He let me know before we came on here that for those of you who know about GitHub and can access it, he posts the full document that I was showing on my video. It's on GitHub. And if you want to follow, go ahead.
No, I said okay. That was like agreeing with you. I loved it. Keep going.
If you want to follow along, you're probably going to want that document because it's going to help you walk your way through. The way I was kind of led was, hey, look at this user, Zergonomic Z. Look at their posts in Calazar's channel. And so I saw some ASCII stuff. A lot of people were on that route. This is approachable for anyone. Even my nephew can do this, right? If you count the syllables count the syllables in the couplet. A couplet is 2 lines going down the poem. So count the syllables. It'll give you a number. The number should read like 14, 15, 14, 14, 16, 17. Those are the numbers you're going to get. You match that number to the original ASCII chart from IBM, because there's a couple different ones. You want the original one. And all you have to do is look at that number, look at the character, and you'll get a music note. You'll get a sun. You'll get an arrow going one way, an arrow going the other way. And some people thought that was it. I thought that was cool. And I went to the person who showed me and said, hey, I did it. And they're like, no, that's not even step 1. so that led me in for a whole new trip. You're supposed to get led to the arcade song. Once you get to the arcade song, if you run a spectral analysis on it, you'll see that there is something hidden toward the end. And then you have to run a bunch of different programs or analyzers or filters to get this really cool cryptic message from there. So I'll pause for questions. I know I talked a lot.
I think you talked perfectly.
Yeah, you talked perfectly. I watched your video earlier today, so it makes it super easy for me to follow along because I've already followed it. So you have to go to his site. If you're not subscribed to SS Quest Froggy, you're doing it wrong. You got to go subscribe to Froggy. He's doing great content. He puts out a ton of content on TTI and a bunch of other Beyond the Map's Edge. And he was exclusive drop on the technical clue today. Great job.
Jam, can I ask you a question? You're a technical guy. Yeah,
that's technical. To get to that,
I'm noticing you're not asking me this. Go ahead.
Well, so I want to ask Jam, do you think, are you, now that I've kind of explained it and you've seen a couple images, would you be able to go about and you think you'll be able to get there?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to watch it again and again and again because I'm not used to manipulating it like you did. And I want to play the sound, but I don't think it's going to come up because it has to be on what's it called? I should play it from your live stream. I should just find it and stuff like that. But it basically says what? Read it out exactly.
Okay, so it says, should I try to play it on mine? Would that work?
Yeah, can you?
Okay, so here's the message. The key to one direction lies in another. And so let's see if I can play it and if it comes out clear. All right, let's try this one. The key to one direction lies in another. Is that clear?
Yeah,
that's
heard it.
Clear. The fact that comes up and he says there was a hint in a song. This is from one of the songs.
And that's the thing is he said that there was a significant hint.
Like that.
It was a significant hint.
If you have the 1 minute song, the arcade song, it's at the 42 second mark. And then someone else said, if you have a different version of the song, it's at the 24th second. So there's a lot of things that seem to be pointing to it. Justin talking about bats, high frequency, low frequency, ultrasonic. It seems to be a lot of things that have pointed to something like this.
Well,
right.
What's it called? Also think about it. You have to return her face, right? So he's talking once again about what did he say again? I have to read it again. I have to find it.
He's talking about something.
It's very technical. To get to it, you have to have it. Yeah, I wanted to pull it up. Someone actually wrote it, and I was going to put it up. Here it is. Davio, of course. The key to one direction lies in another. When you see her face or return her face to find the place. So just throwing that out there. So
it's interesting when I was out with Barry Johnson and we were hunting. There's this moment we were talking about because obviously you get out there, you're hunting, you're talking through the poem, and then we talked about how that when you return your face, and we're like, and then you turn around, and so it's like now isn't almost validating that's like the key to one direction lies in another. It's like I love so much of it, and also it was funny that I thought I was crazy that I thought you would turn, and Barry thought the same thing, so I just loved it.
The key to one direction is to be a 14-year-old girl. So.
Oh God.
Yeah,
and I will say real quick that again, the support has been mostly positive, and I feel the people who were behind the scenes working on this felt that they got represented pretty well, and they wanted to make clear that Z, the whole early ASCII was going down. That was Zygmatic, so they wanted to make that known that the information that was being fed to me, I guess, about the ASCII came from Zygmatic, and she was the one that I've seen publicly, because a lot of people are working on this, right? How can we say that someone didn't have it earlier or didn't work on it, but at least publicly that's been shared, right?
Yeah, Mask of Zero, Zigmatic, High Pants. Thank you guys so much. Very generous of you guys to share. So we all
Very
really
generous.
appreciate it. So
But it speaks to the kind of community that we're part of, right? That you were willing to share with so many people. And when Froggy calls me, he's like, I know you guys are going live. I just want to talk to you about that before. I'm like, dude, get it, go.
yeah,
Because
breaking
here's the thing,
news.
Froggy is
Yeah.
our friend. And we all,
Yeah.
like, I love when you bring breaking news. What am I gonna watch? Froggy.
Froggy now has at everybody writes in our Discord and his
We
username
did.
screen.
You know,
Exactly.
One Direction, they have a song with Hannah Montana. That was.
Oh my God, we're not watching We're not talking Hannah Montana.
All right.
You lost your mind.
6:30. Here we go. We're bringing on the man,
We're
the
gonna bring him
legend.
on.
Here we go.
Tyler! Welcome, Tyler. It's been a minute since I've seen you, friend. Oh, no, you're muted.
Hold on, let me take you off
Muted?
mute.
You're muted. Is he?
Yeah,
Did you mute him, Jim?
I did not.
Jim
Is
mute
there
him?
background noise? Can you
No.
hear like background noise? Because
No,
I'm
you
trying
sound
to do noise cancellation. Okay. Hey guys.
Awesome. Oh my gosh.
Welcome
Thank
to
you
the
so
show.
much.
All right, for those who don't know, I don't know where you've been or living under a rock, but this is Justin Posey's good friend. How long you guys been friends?
Best friend. They've been friends since they were children, right, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah, since we were geez, I want to say 13, 14.
Oh my gosh, that's a
Then
long time.
yeah, it's a pretty long time. And I'm 43 now, so it's been a
It's a
while.
couple days,
30
right?
years.
It's a couple days.
Your 30-year anniversary.
Well, you're right. It's pretty much 30 years, yeah.
Oh wow. And for those people who don't know, Tyler has his own show on X. You might have seen when he had Justin on, but the Deep State of the Union, fantastic shows, such good conspiracy stuff. I literally my favorite one is about the aliens. Obviously it's coming up. I'm waiting for the end of the month.
I cannot wait for that. I cannot wait for that one. I'm super excited. Let me add this up here and stuff like that. That is his X. You can go on there. I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. I checked it
Yeah,
out.
that's right.
Matters on X.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So that is his X. You go on there. They do spaces. As you know, if you watch the Justin interview with Tyler, what's it called? And it was really cool, man. And we were on there for hours on these. And now you're going to be doing one on aliens. Can't wait.
No, he did the one on aliens already, and then he did one on Epstein, which was also.
Yeah, just yesterday I had Mark Epstein
Yeah.
join my space. It was pretty interesting. He came on to answer some questions.
What?
I'll probably do another one with him. He just likes to join and just dispel rumors and stuff since he gets blamed for
Right.
stuff. And so he just likes to answer, questions about whatever.
Right.
But I'll probably do another one with him. And I do it's not like an upcoming alien episode. I always do aliens, you know what I mean?
I love
always
that.
like bring that up. But the latest thing I've been doing is I have this AI bot named Ava, and she's just I kind of prompted her to be really open-minded, take off the guardrails, all of the bias and all of the like political bent that a lot of them have, and she gives her like dark web access, and so she's really good at like answering questions that you can't really find anywhere else, and I gave her own avatar, and so people come in and they just talk to her, and it's kind of like the oracle, that people line up and ask like some question they've been wanting to get answered forever. But it's been like, yeah, she is a little bit sassy.
She's a little bit sassy.
Yeah, she's funny. She does sometimes go off the rails, and we're like, Ava, no, that's not correct.
Well, I
That's
loved
not
it
correct.
when we were doing the show
The
for
practice. Yeah.
for Justin and the practice show. You were like, Ava, no, I've told you specifically not to do this. And she was talking back to you, and I was like, oh my gosh, if you didn't know, you wouldn't necessarily understand that she's AI.
Yeah, I'm trying to you pick up on it, after a little while. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
that's AI. But she does yeah, she's getting better and better, and I'm trying to make her, indistinguishable as much as I can. So you're just talking to a really smart, sounds like you're just talking to a really smart woman, honestly. But yeah, she's fun. I've just there's been a lot of interest. I had like, I don't know, 12,000 listeners yesterday after
Holy
a
cow.
few hours. So
That's
yeah,
insane.
it's picking up. It's picking up. It's fun.
I mean, it has to be fun. Like, first of all, I've never used spaces. I got a lot of flack. People hated me, by the way. It's okay. It's not, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. It's gonna be fine. But
They hated you? That's a
yeah, they
little
were
extreme.
so
Why would
mad
they
at me.
hate?
They were so mad. They thought I was gatekeeping questions. And I got to tell you, I'm not the gatekeeping type. I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. I'm like, let's all have fun, right? They were
Yeah,
mad. But
I
but when I look
yeah.
at that day, I saw it as such a huge success because it was a platform I'd never used, and it was so fun to just let people go crazy and just keep plugging along and doing our best. What do you feel like with between our community and yours? What do you feel like maybe was the response you got from your people that maybe aren't necessarily treasure hunters?
Yeah, I think yeah, I think a lot of people that didn't know what was going on didn't really tune in. They maybe they tuned in and they didn't really talk to me about it. I don't think they I don't know. But I will say for sure that like typically with spaces, you know, you have people that request to like have a mic because there's only 10 spots. There's only 10 spots in the on the stage or the panel. And typically, you know, I don't even really have like I can just fill the stage, you know. But I never really have people be on 10. Like sometimes I'll have two or three or four that are like, oh, I gotta wait for other people to leave the stage where you can come. And I've been in like I don't want to say hundreds of spaces, probably not, because I've only been doing it for a couple years, but you know, many spaces. And the requests for that one for Justin's space, like usually I get three, four. Like if I'm getting like 10 additional requests beyond my already full stage, that's like, whoa, whoa, this is busy, this is busy, this is
Yeah.
intense. With Justin's, it was like 60. It was like
Yeah.
60 of people in line. And it was totally unmanageable, right? I mean, it was like
Yes.
we couldn't get like I knew people were gonna be upset. I knew people were gonna be upset because it's like such a long line and there wasn't enough
Yeah.
room on the stage. And even if we had like, even if they allowed us to put 70 people on the stage, it would still be too many people to even get all their questions in, you know? And so it
Yeah.
was just, it was one of those things that it was just, it was an anomaly. I've never, like, I don't think if I talk to everyone who's ever been on a space and, you know, like I've known hundreds of people that go on spaces. I don't think anybody would say they've ever seen more than 20 requests. And with that one, we had over 60 consistent the whole time.
The whole
The
time.
whole you saw it. Yeah, you were
I
a
did.
co-host. You saw it
Yeah.
was crazy. It was
It was
crazy.
insane. But you did such a great job and it was so fun. And the energy and the momentum from that night was just like, let's just go on. Let's move to the next one. Let's get and I loved how you kept going, whoa, people, stop telling Justin thank you. And that was my favorite part. Stop thanking him. And you
Yeah.
were like,
See,
answer
no
questions.
thank yous for Justin. I
No,
love
thank
it.
you. I was
I
dying
don't remember
laughing because
saying
I
that.
like to tease him. I
No,
like to tease him really
no,
bad
we're
about
we're
things.
teasing.
And it like, I'm like, yeah, no thank yous for you. Because
It's
everybody was like,
because we
thank
were.
you
It
so
was time.
much.
They get on and be like, Justin, I
But
just
to start
really
off,
wanted to
right?
thank
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
so much, like what you've done and this hunt, and you don't. You mean so much to me. It's like, get to your question, bro. We don't have much time.
Yeah. It was
So
so
that's
funny
Seriously,
why.
we
though,
lose
because you were trying to be
30% of our
conscientious.
Yeah,
yeah, we lose 30% of our time because 30% of it is spent thanking
Yeah.
Justin.
yeah,
And so I
You're like,
guess, yeah.
no
yeah.
more thank yous,
So
Frank.
we
I was
appreciated it.
dying
We
laughing.
appreciate you saying that.
What
Oh,
does it say? Free Scott. Oh my gosh,
oh my
Scott's
gosh,
done.
Froggy.
Get him off of here. So funny. They always are messing with Scott. They're saying that I gatekeep Scott. I gatekeep questions. I look like a gatekeeper to you? I'm a sweet girl. Well, that said, I told people that you were coming on because it was short notice, and we're so grateful. You can always come on
Hmm.
anytime. And so people were like, "Can you ask him this for me?" So you've got some questions if you feel like having some questions.
All
People
right.
are dying to know, and I feel like the answer to this is no. And you're always welcome to punt. They want
Hmm.
to know if you're the steward. Nope, you don't even know
If
what
I
it is,
am,
so it's not him.
Stewart.
if
No,
I
he's like the
am,
steward.
it's something I'm not aware of. Maybe
That's
can you be the steward?
hysterical.
Can you be the steward
Oh,
without being aware of it?
yeah, no, I don't
Maybe,
think so. I mean, it's possible,
maybe.
but not
Did
probable.
did Justin ever hand you like a suitcase and be like, just put this in your closet for a bit?
Somebody's gonna call you one day.
Yeah, just when they do, they're calling about this.
He might have stored something in my property that I'm not aware of.
I
I
love
don't
it.
know, but not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of.
That's fair. Like that's fair. I was like, I don't think so. I mean, I'll ask, but I don't think so. One thing I thought was kind of funny is because you're to me, I think of you as Mr. Conspiracy, and like I said, every time I get a notification that there's a show kind of thing, I'm like, oh, I got to go see what's our new conspiracy. What do we think now? And
Uh-huh.
somebody says, with all the conspiracies surrounding the Forrest Fenn hunt, what questions do you still have based on the current national solve?
The current national solve?
Well,
What do you mean
yeah,
by
the
that?
Jack Stoof, the current solve. Like people say that that is or isn't. Is there any questions you feel are
What do you
left
think
For
open?
about the
Forrest
Forrest
Fenn?
Fenn? Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, for Forrest Fenn?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, it
We're,
was,
because you were a Forrest
yeah.
Fenn hunter.
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah, I was.
so
Like,
how do
you
you
mean,
feel about the ending? Do you think that some people don't think that Jack found it? Some people think he was picked to find. I don't know why they think he was picked to find it, but
Who's gonna be like
what
random
do you think
dude,
about
Jack
it?
Stoof? Let's do this. But is there
Yeah.
anything you think is left open for questions or conspiracies there?
I would say, I definitely think Jack Stu found it. I think that he needed to break some laws in order to find the treasure, and so he couldn't come out publicly with that he found it because he would get in legal trouble. I think that he needed to um, probably use a metal detector. He probably needed to, dig where he couldn't wasn't allowed to dig.
Yeah,
Um, I think he broke several laws,
yeah,
uh, and that just caused him to have to go into, incognito mode. Obviously, he was found out eventually, but he can't ever reveal where he found it. But I mean, I'm sure, isn't it pretty common knowledge that Justin did way more analysis beyond what was shown in
Oh yeah.
the series, right? The series
Oh, for
kind of made
sure.
it look silly where he's like, oh, this photo lines up, and then like he's crying that he found it. And
Yeah.
we were both like frustrated about that because it kind of makes him seem like he's like sold on something based on that something that isn't really like that photo is not, in my opinion, like it's pretty good. It's good for like a visual, for a series, like it's visually compelling, I guess. But as far as like the scientific proof that he did, right, with the bronze, you guys know about that, right?
Right. That they tested the dirt. Is that what you're talking about?
yep. They
Yeah,
The
he
tested.
did a
bronze.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he was
did a
at least
full
residue.
he did a full he what he did, he had a control and he took samples. One of the samples was from the spot that he thought it was in, and then he took a bunch of other samples in the area where he knew, quote unquote, it wasn't in that spot or had no reason to believe it was in those spots, and then sent it to a lab, and it was double blind. And the double blind study, so he made it so he didn't know which ones without, like, you know how you do a double blind study, you have like a
Yeah.
chart that you look at later on. But initially you're blind to it, and then the scientists are blind to it. They don't know what you want. um and so they just test sample one, sample two, sample three, sample four. And then it came back and it said, okay, all of these samples have no bronze, and then this one has a hell of a lot of bronze, right? And then he pulled out his cheat sheet, lined it up. I might have get this a little bit wrong, so I'm sure maybe Justin's shaking his head here, but the way he did it, it was a scientific double blind study, and it proved that in that spot there was a lot of bronze, right? And it's also the spot that lined up with the photo, right? And so to me, I don't see any other real way to get around that. I mean, it's so rock solid, in my opinion, proof that that was where the treasure was found. And I also know, and I don't think I'm allowed to say these other things, so I won't. But I also know of some other reasons why that's the final location. Um, and Yeah, I can't get into that unless I get Justin's permission. I don't think I've got it, but I'm just saying that alone is all you need, in my opinion, to come to the conclusion that that's where it was found. And yeah, as far as like Forrest leading him to the spot because he wanted it to end,
Yeah.
um, I guess that's possible. I mean, I just don't think there's any discussion left. I don't think there's any discussion left for like where it was found. But as far as whether Forrest wanted it to be found and led someone there to find it just so he could, whatever reason, he just wanted it done. I mean, he was getting, threats and everything. And so I could
Yeah.
imagine why he would want it to be over. He was probably, maybe he was sick of it. Um, but yeah. So I think that solves it in my opinion, for sure.
That's awesome. I mean, we were not part of that hunt. So anytime we have someone who's a Forrest Fenn hunter, we always want to understand people's side of it. And
Mhm.
again, because you're a conspiracy guy, we love a good conspiracy. I was just curious your thoughts on if there was any conspiracy left.
Yes, not all I mean, conspiracies are sometimes true, right? And that's why you look
Mhm.
into them. Everything's always starts off
The
as a
maybe is the
conspiracy.
fun, right? The maybe is
Right.
the fun part of it.
Right. Every time you get like a final, like, well written, study that, for an article or a journal or whatever, it always starts off as a conspiracy, right? It always starts off with, hey, look at this. This is very interesting. Look at these clues here that don't necessarily line up yet, but it seems like it could be something, right? And then people look
Mhm.
into it. And sometimes it turns out to not be true. Sometimes it turns out to be true. But I think that it's important to look into everything and keep a very open mind. And so I don't subscribe to the whole, oh, conspiracy theory equals that's bullshit, right? I don't subscribe to that at all. I think that conspiracy theories lead to truth. They lead to truth eventually, or they don't, right? So like it could be either way, but
Mhm.
you have to start at that point. And so that's why I'm really interested in all sorts of conspiracies. I want to, like, the Charlie Kirk thing, as I think is a conspiracy that I'm very interested in these days. I can talk about that for a very long time. But yeah, so that's why I think the conspiracies are really important to look into.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Godelkin, thank you so much. You do not have to do that. We appreciate that. He asked, Justin, are you here? What's
You
going on? He's
never
always
know.
here. He's
You
always
never know.
watching.
He's
You never know with
watching.
Justin. He's
He's
always
watching.
He's
watching.
watching. Yeah, like
He's
I like
always
you call him
watching.
out on it. But we're really fortunate because
Ooh,
Justin's very gracious with his time,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
his information with us. But I feel like you kind of have some fun stuff. Like you got to know all the fun Justin stories. With that, I'm not asking for any hints. I'm just saying, what's your favorite Justin story that you have that you like to tell about him?
My favorite Justin story
I mean,
that I
30
like.
years of friendship has to have a good story in there somewhere. And he even talked
Yeah.
about you being in your underwear. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So pick a good one that will embarrass him.
Oh gosh, Jim, no, we're not
It's my
embarrassing
friend. I
Justin.
can say that.
A good one that will embarrass
Oh my
him.
gosh, I love how he's like, "Oh, I'm in. We're gonna embarrass him." No, we're gonna be nice. We're not gonna embarrass him.
Oh, geez. I can't think of anything really embarrassing. I would say maybe, have you guys heard the one about the bear scat, that story where we ran into
I
a bear?
haven't.
You haven't heard that? Is that
No,
not
I've
one?
never heard
Okay.
that one. Like a
All right.
froggy's like, not me either.
Sure. Well, we were out searching in Canada at the time for the treasure, and that's a whole thing that I can go down. But we'd always had, our bear spray, and we were going along a trail. I mean, we searched for years, and there was only one other time that we saw a bear run across the trail, and it was very brief. Justin saw plenty of bears in his own searches without me, but I'd never, just besides that one time, I hadn't seen one. And we were just going down a trail, and then up the trail was a bear, right? Just coming up. And I saw some bears on my own. This is just when I was with Justin. This was the only time we really saw one coming at us, and it was coming up towards us. And so we decided to just start walking backwards, and because there was no other way, we couldn't walk forwards because it was
Yeah.
coming towards us, so the only thing we could do is walk backwards, and you don't want to turn your back to a bear. And so but the bear was walking pretty quickly towards us, and we as we were stepping backwards, we accidentally stepped in some bear scat, right? And it was like kind of slipped around and stuff, and it was like kind of startling. And then and that slowed us down, and the bear actually came closer because of that. But actually, because that bear scat was there, we it actually kind of saved us because it caused the bear to stop and smell it. That became more interesting to the bear than us, and so we were able to like back off, and then we backed off into the weeds, and then the bear actually came down into the weeds towards us. And we had the bear spray ready to
Yeah.
go, and the bear didn't actually we didn't actually have to use the bear spray. But that was the only time we ran into a bear on the hunt. Let me think of some maybe high school stories. We got in trouble with we got suspended from school together. You know about that story?
No, Justin got suspended. You look like you could probably get suspended. You look like you're a little bit of trouble, but Justin, he's so innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I
what?
mean, yeah. So basically, in school, we had a class we didn't like. We were in English class, and she was piling on a bunch of work that we weren't happy about, and I was upset. And so this was this was before texting, believe it or not. And so we were writing notes. I don't know if kids still do that. Maybe they do if they don't have their phones. A lot of schools don't allow phones these days, but we didn't have phones. And so we were writing notes back and forth. And I was like, oh, I'm so upset about this. I can't believe that she's making us do this. And like, so I was, and on the note, as we were passing it back, someone had just told us that if you put pineapple on a car, like, those pineapple rings, if you just put it on the top of someone's car, it like the acid like goes under the paint and then it dries, and then when the person goes to like, oh, what's this pineapple on my car, they go to pick it up and it takes out this huge like 3 foot radius ring of paint, right?
Right.
And I thought that was funny, and I was like, man, we got to try that. And I was like, oh, we should put the pineapple on our teacher's car, right? That would be a good like payback for this. And so like that was kind of how the note concluded, that we were going to do that.
No.
and and then on the way out of class, I was the last one with the note, and I just dropped it in the trash.
Oh no.
Um, and anyway, so the next day, I got called to the principal's office, and um, when I came into I mean, I didn't really know what was going on. I had no idea, and I went into the room, and she did, some lead up or whatever, and then she says, "Do you want to tell me about the pineapples?" And I'm like, "The pineapples? Tell me about the pineapples." And then she pulled out the note and threw it on the desk, and I
Oh
was
no.
shocked. And and they said, "Well, we already have Justin in a holding cell."
Oh
And I
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and what had happened the night before is we were I was wanting to actually do it, right? I actually called Justin, and I'm like, here we go, we're gonna go do the pineapples, right, Justin? He's like, no, we're not gonna go do the pineapples. No, we're not gonna go do the pineapples. And I said, yes, we are. And there was another friend on the phone, and he was pressuring me, or he was saying we shouldn't do it, and I was the idiot who was like
You're in.
gonna do it. And apparently, what was going on is after we left and I dropped the note in the trash, the teacher just went over and grabbed it, right, and read it. And she got horrified. She was horrified by what she read. And her brother was a cop. And so what he did is
Oh
he was
wow.
patrolling, he was like waiting for us to show up with the pineapples,
Oh
ready
my
to arrest
gosh.
us and take us to jail, right? And so, and I mean, I don't know if we were actually like, I don't know how close I was to convincing Justin to go, but he ultimately we didn't go. But
Are you glad
because
now?
yeah, we would
Good.
have gone to jail. We would have gone to jail if we had shown up. And so I'm really glad we didn't go. But it still was bad because so they took Justin and they put him in some cell in the school, which kind of sounds like I it sounds like false imprisonment. I don't think you're allowed to just like
I don't
lock
know what
some.
school you went to.
I mean, no, I can't
Yeah, it
say
was
they
weird.
spanked me like every day at my school because I was really bad. But
Yeah.
But
Oh,
they didn't put me
spanked
in a
you?
cell. Oh yes, I got spanked every day. I was so bad. I was so bad.
Yeah, I that sounds. I mean, I think that's pretty much illegal nationwide today to spank kids at school, right? But
I'm old too though. I'm older than you,
right,
so they could
right.
spank us back then.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. But in this, I guess putting someone like they locked him. They like took him and they locked him in some room at the school. And Justin, when Justin got called in, he's the one that could tell you his side of the story. But she did the same thing where she what about the pineapples and put the desk up, the note on the desk, and then they put him in this holding cell, and he was like trying to escape, like he's trying to find like a paper
Oh
clip
my
or something to
gosh.
escape from the cell. But anyway, we both got
Of course
suspended
he
from
was.
school. We both got suspended from school.
Because you
It was
talked
like
about putting pineapple.
just for
Full
discussing
stop.
it. How stupid is that? Like we didn't
It's
actually
pretty
do it,
stupid.
right? But we got suspended from school, and he and Justin was actually up for a scholarship,
Oh
and
no.
that's what he thought he was getting called when he got the call. I didn't know what the hell was going on, right? I'm like, why am I going to the principal? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my scholarship. They're finally gonna tell it to me, right? And so he came
Oh
in all smug and
no.
all excited, like here I go. But actually, it was the opposite because he got suspended from school, he couldn't get the scholarship anymore. So
Oh
Oh,
no.
so
Now doesn't
because
he wish he put that pineapple on that jerk teacher's car?
to
yeah.
get something out of the experience, right? Some sort of
Hmm.
gratification from it. Yeah, but yeah, he so because I wrote that note, because I'm the one that wrote the pineapple,
Mm.
right, on the note. He didn't ask for that, right? I'm the
Oh
one
yeah.
that stupidly threw it in the trash can,
Mm.
where the teacher clearly could have seen that. I mean, why wasn't I thinking that the teacher would see us writing notes, see me throw it in the trash can, obviously curiously want to go read the note? Um, and then Justin the whole time didn't mention the pineapples, told me we're not going to go put the pineapples on the car.
Lost the
And then he
scholarship.
gets suspended and loses his scholarship all because of me, right? And then I also blame myself for Justin not finding the treasure because um, he was very gung ho about Yellowstone, right? And as
Right.
we've already talked about, it's definitive in my opinion that it was found in Yellowstone at Nine
Right.
Mile Hole, and he was going to go back to Yellowstone, right? But I had this incredible solve in in uh, Waterton National Park in Canada, and that's the story that's in the book. Um, and that was when I went on my own, right? So what I did is I went on my own because it was getting really late in the season, and I was trying to get Justin to go with me, and he said, "I'm not going." So I went on my own and did that whole thing, and I can get into that story, but basically, um, when I showed up to the location where it was supposed to be on the map, there was a big on Google Earth. There's a big X, right? It etched in the ground,
Right.
which is like that sold me on. All the nine clues lined up perfectly, and then at the very end there was this big X, and it looked like somebody took a shovel and just just went dug right a really deep X like across the ground. And so when I showed up, it was underwater, right?
Oh
And I
no.
had wasted so much time getting there that I couldn't get back, right, by that night. And I looked at the weather and I knew it wasn't going to get below freezing. So I did my research. I didn't just stupidly like stumble around, without a plan. But I knew that it wasn't going to get below freezing, but it was definitely cold. It was like
Right.
in the 40s or something. So it was a very cold night. But afterwards, I was able to convince Justin that this is a good spot to look at, even if it's not in this specific spot, because we were like, maybe it's under the water. And then there was all these other areas that it could be where the clues lined up. And then there was another spot we could try. So I pulled him away from Yellowstone. I pulled him
Oh
away from
no.
Yellowstone, and that was the final season, right? That was the final season that anyone could search for the treasure. Nobody knew that at the time. We always
Yeah.
thought, oh, it's going to be always available. No one's going to find this
I
for a
mean,
long,
10
long time.
years deep, you wouldn't assume, right?
Right. You always think, oh, it's treasure season. And if it's not, we don't
Yeah.
find it now, we'll just find it next year. It's just something to do. And that was the final summer. That was the final summer. And we were there for a couple months, right? All the way up until whatever it is, Memorial Day. What is the September? There's a holiday in September where
Labor
basically,
Day, Labor
is it
Day.
Labor Day? Labor
Only
Day,
reason I
yeah.
remember is Memorial Day, May, the double M.
Oh, thank you. That's a
No,
very
you're
good
welcome.
trick. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So Labor Day was, and after Labor Day in Waterton, it just, you can't go, like it's
Yeah.
over, right? And so we were there all the way up until Labor Day. And then that was it. And so if Justin had gone back to Yellowstone instead of me and my Canada escapades, maybe he would have found it. But the end result would have been maybe very different. We wouldn't be sitting here with
Right.
Justin's own treasure, because the reason for this hunt is because he didn't find it, but got approached by Netflix, right? If Justin had
Right.
found it, he would have had to break the law. And that's another thing that I guess we should probably consider, because Justin would not have broken the law, right? He wouldn't have.
Right.
Like, there are certain people, and I think maybe I would have. I don't know. Like, if you're like, wow, there's a treasure that's worth $2 million if you break a law,
I feel like
right?
you might have, just so you know. I feel like you might have.
Right. And there's a lot of people that would justify that. I'm not saying that I don't
Yeah.
know what I would necessarily do, but it's very tempting,
Yeah. Right.
right?
Well,
Of
he
course.
To
didn't
do
bring
something,
Tucker. He didn't bring
Yeah,
out
he
Tucker.
didn't
I
bring
mean,
Tucker.
because he was
right?
afraid. He told the
Yeah.
story that he was afraid that he wouldn't be allowed back, that he'd be kicked out. It's actually funny you
Yeah.
brought this up. Someone had asked a question.
Mhm.
Were you ever filmed or interviewed in any part of the Netflix series, since you brought up the Netflix series?
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit annoyed about that, because I did get interviewed for the series, and it was a long interview. It was like probably about 3 or 4 hours.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
Um,
wow.
and it was very in depth. And I thought it was a good interview. After the interview was done, I felt like it was good. I mean, not to like toot my horn or whatever, but I just felt like, I think that was an engaging conversation. I
Right.
think there's a lot of good detail. I'm his best friend. Um, and uh,
Well, you
and
were his hunt partner too. You guys hunted together, right?
yeah, exactly. And I had
Yeah.
stories in there and everything, and I thought it was good, but then they ended up cutting like the whole thing, right? Not even one shred of it showed up in the series. And then when you watch the series, in my opinion, it seemed like what they did is they were trying to bolster Justin up to be like the smart guy, the guy that like knows what he's talking about. And then the other people just seemed kind of dumb. I don't know, like the family that's like digging, like spending all their time trying to, get through this boulder. They thought it was under a boulder. And then the other guy was, I mean, it was just kind of a boring hunt. The pilot, I didn't think that his like solve was very interesting. I thought it was like, wow, he's like, I didn't think like how they went through their solves, and I'm like, these solves are just kind of like, I have way better solves than these, right? And it just seemed like Justin was like meant to be the guy that was clearly the one that was like the most competent, because they were going to end with him in his own hunt, right? And so I feel like
Right.
they decided to go with the people that were less compelling. So comparatively, Justin was the best, the obvious best, but hunter out
Yeah.
of the group. But yeah, I don't know. It was frustrating. There are other things that happen with the Netflix series, a lot of different things that they promised that was going to happen that didn't end up happening. But that's how a series goes. Like, you have to like really make sacrifices to like get whatever you want out of like the story you want to tell. And so I get it. But I wish they were trying to get a fourth episode, and if there had been a fourth episode, then I think I would have made it in the series. But but
Oh
I don't have
wow.
any ill feel. I don't have any ill will or any bad feelings about it. It was
Oh no.
fine. It
Yeah,
was
I mean,
fine.
they'll,
And
there
Cynthia.
probably one about this one. How could you not make this one? Jim, you want to
right.
put that up there?
Which one?
The
Oh,
Kelly Duarte.
okay.
And then we'll go back to Cynthia. Kelly, thank you. You do not have to do this, but that's an interesting question. Can you somehow summarize about the interview? Like what are the key points you loved about your interview you have with Netflix?
Oh gosh.
It was only a
I
few
went.
years ago. You can't remember the whole conversation verbatim?
I wanted to record all the audio, and that was just a
Yeah.
thing I forgot to do. I was supposed to put record audio on my phone. And honestly, I'm still tight with the producer.
Yeah.
I actually have a call with him. I've been trying to work with him on another series about aliens. That's something we've
Oh,
been trying
I'm
to.
so in for that, by the
He's
way. I can't wait.
Yeah, he's interested in it too. He's been really excited about that, and that's something that like that was kind of something that came out of my meeting with him. Is he found out I knew about all this stuff with UFOs and aliens, and And he's like, let's do a series. And so we've been trying to get that off the ground. And so it's kind of not taken off yet. But um, yeah. So one of the things I did is I went deeply into my Canada solve. And so that solve to me, it's so much more compelling, in my opinion, than the real solve that it like blows my mind that it wasn't there. It's one of those things where you're like, wow, how did that turn out? But I think a lot of people think that their solve is it better than everyone else's, right?
Of course.
Anyone that has their own solve, they're like, wow, mine makes the most sense, right, out of anybody's. And that's a really common trend that happened with Forrest Fenn's hunt, and I'm sure that it's something that probably Justin's hunt is happening a lot. I'm sure everybody out there is like, my solve, it's the best. It's so common to think that, but I really thought my solve, and but actually, I think myself, not just because it was mine, but actually, I think it was really good. Um, but it wouldn't be quite as compelling to your audience because no one really knows that the Forrest Fenn, like the that wasn't really a part of their DNA. Of some people, of course, but I really went deep into like the reasons for my solve, and I had visuals. I had overhead visuals, and I showed like this is where warm waters halt. This is the canyon. This is the home of Brown. I went to the historical background of why this is the home of Brown, you know, and like the end is ever drawing nigh. Like the end was the border, right? I thought that was really
Right.
cool because my hunt actually started in the United States, went up and through Canada, and then ended back in the United States on this tiny little island that's at the end of this lake called Cameron Lake, right? And the whole point of my solve is you go on this adventure. The whole adventure is in Canada. And then you end up back in the very, very edge of the United States of America, the northern, as north as you can go. If you went 6 inches more north, you go to Canada. And it was in this little island that the only way to get there is to go up through Canada. And you don't even need a passport. Like once you're in Canada and you cross this lake, then you show up on the other side of the lake and you're in the United States right there, right? And there's no border or anything. And like border patrol, I should say, there is a border, but there's no border patrol saying, hey, you need to show your passport to come to this little tiny island in the United States. They don't have anyone there. I thought that was so cool. I was like, wow, you end up back in the United States. And so it still fits his whole thing where he said it's in the United States of America. Um, and then it was shaped like a rainbow, and he was all, and like treasures at the end, like the hunt that I went, it was shaped like this, right?
Oh,
And treasure hunts end like at the end of a rainbow, you find treasure, right? You find gold. And so
yeah.
I'm like, wow, how creative that Forrest made a rainbow shape for his hunt, and that's where the X is, right where the treasure, the pot of gold would be. Thought that was cool. And then you started the hunt at the same place you ended it. Like the way I had it was you start at Cameron Lake, and then when you go through all of the clues, you end up back where you started. And Forrest Fenn would always say, like, there was this little poem sort of thing that he would say where after all you've searched, you'll end up where you began. And he quoted that a lot. And I was like, wow, like, so my solve ends where I start. It's shaped like a pot of, a rainbow. And it fits the clues perfectly, right? Like the home of Brown was like there was this guy named I forgot his first name, but Katanji, or I forgot his starts with a K, but he was like he founded Waterton National Park, and so like the town that was there, Waterton, was his home, right? Like that's where like
Right.
he founded that, and then right below it is where you put in below the home of Brown. Do you guys know the Forrest Fenn
Oh
poem? It says
yeah.
put in below the home of Brown, and that's a water term, right?
Right.
Right below the home of Brown, Waterton was this body of water, right? Put in below the home of Brown, and then the end is ever drawing nigh. As you're going, you come to the end, which is the border in the water, right? And so like the end is ever drawing nigh, right? And so I mean, it just fit it so well, and Justin, I mean, he's a smart guy, and I convinced him, he was convinced it was there too, and we were all running around up in Canada thinking this is where it was. Meanwhile, it's down in Yellowstone. But
Mhm.
here's the thing. Like I said, Justin wouldn't have broken the law. So what would have happened is Justin would have just been frustrated, I think, in Yellowstone because he would have been like, I think it might be right there, but the only way when there's no blaze anymore, right? Because you know
Right.
that the area was completely decimated by weather or something, but all the logs were fallen. The blaze had been destroyed, and the only way to find it was to do a grid system, right?
Yeah.
Which is what Jack Stoof did, right? He did a grid system, and he
With a
spent
metal detector, we think, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought a metal
Which
detector.
you're
You
not
can't
allowed
do
to do.
that.
Yeah.
No, you
Nope.
can't do that. You can't
Right.
do that. And so and actually Forrest, he buried it. And you can't dig in Yellowstone.
Nope.
And so what's weird about Forrest Fenn, he's kind of a wild child, right? Only way to find Forrest Fenn's treasure was to break the law. Can you believe that? That
I
he
do
set
kind
up
of believe that. I think he liked to give that walk on the edge. Like I didn't
seriously,
search
that's
Forrest, but I feel like when you see some of his interviews, he was telling you to live at the edge of the seat of your chair, right? Go as far as to the edge as you could, right?
Yes.
right, right. I guess there's a wow, someone gave $50.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess better
Yeah.
answer this question.
Yeah, thank
Uh
you so much, Randy. You do not have to
I
do
guess I
that.
better
Thank
answer
you
the
all.
question.
We actually have people are loving this about your Netflix. What's it called? Do you appear in any of the background scenes in the Netflix series? Also, our own Cynthia Meacham, as you know, what's it called from Golden Greed, tell us the unhoused stealing your stuff story too.
No,
So,
the hobos stealing your stuff
oh, the
when you're
hobos.
having your interview.
oh, okay, I'll tell that story. So first of all, I do appear in the Netflix series in two different scenes.
Oh,
So if you've got some eagle eyes, you
Froggy.
can find me.
Yeah,
You can
thanks.
find
Yeah,
me.
Randy, who just gave that $50, she has the ultimate in eagle eyes.
yeah.
She
Randy,
doesn't
Okay.
get
miss
to
a
work.
single detail.
Yes.
Okay.
Look
Well,
at look at Froggy in his notepad.
I mean, do you want me to do you want me to tell
Yeah.
you where I am, or do you want to leave it up for
Yes.
the?
Tell
Okay.
us.
Go ahead and tell her. Go if
Write
you
it
if
All
you
down,
right.
want
Froggy.
to.
Well, the first one that I'm in the back seat of Justin's car. So there's one where there's a dashboard
Ooh.
cam that's going the opposite, so it's facing him, and I'm in the back seat.
Okay, I remember
Um,
that.
Good on Hooli. She was on it. She had that answer.
oh, there it is. Yep, that's
Yeah.
me. And then there's another scene where you can see me from the back, right? So you don't see my face, but it's like a split second. I don't remember exactly where it is. Um, but it's when they're going through like a big montage of different hunters and they show me going through the forest and it shows the back of my head. That's going to be something very hard um, for people to find, obviously, because they don't show my face, but that is me for sure. And it's Justin with his GoPro walking behind me, filming me in the front. And that was in Yellowstone. And I think that was actually in really close to 9 Mile Hole because we did search around 9 Mile Hole. Justin went back there several times, right?
Right.
And so we were definitely in that area several times, and Justin went back even more than me. So those are the two times I've been in there in the series. And regarding the hobo stealing my stuff, so I was like I have an RV, and it's always a mess. I have three animals, two dogs and a cat in there, and I
Oh
travel in
wow.
this RV. And this is the RV that I took up the Canada mountain that's in the book, right? And just got
Okay.
ravaged, right? Got ravaged by all these trees and branches, and it's going through all these rocks and everything, and weather, and the whole time, I'm like, doesn't matter. I'm about to be a millionaire, I can buy a whole new RV, so who cares? That's how I was thinking
I
about it.
mean,
But
that's
no,
how
I
all
did.
of us think, right?
Yeah.
Right. No repairs were done on the
No, of
RV,
course.
unfortunately. So anyway, they want to do the interview in the RV, right? Um, and so what I had to do was clear it out. And so as I was clearing it out, I had all my stuff out on the ground, and then I was gonna like put all the stuff back in an organized way. But I relocated my RV across the parking lot. So literally I just drove like 50 feet. So I had the stuff on the ground, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go drive, and then I'm gonna come get my stuff. And and as I parked, and this is like 10 seconds later, okay, like 10 seconds. I get out and there's all these bums that are just all around my stuff, and they're just grabbing everything,
Oh
right?
no.
And I'm like, I run over there and I'm like, they already have my stuff in their arms, and I'm like, what are you doing? These are my things. And the guy is swearing at me. He's like, back off, don't touch me. And I'm like, well, you have my things. I'm gonna call the cops. And and he had my laptop. One of the things he had is my laptop.
Oh
Like,
no.
if yeah, and I mean, I'm stupid. I shouldn't have put the stuff on the grass. I mean, you shouldn't leave stuff like that on the ground without being, accompanied at all for any amount of time. And anyway, I was trying to grab it, and eventually he gave it to me, but then they distracted me. I don't know how they did it, but there were several bums. One of them had my guitar, and the guy with the guitar, I was trying to get my guitar from the guy, and I'd already got my laptop. And then finally they left, and I was putting everything in the back, and I'm like, where the hell's my laptop? Like, I was holding it, and I never found it again. I never found my laptop. So I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
and I was holding it, and so I was like, those guys must have taken the laptop. Like, when the guitar guy was talking to me, they must have pulled it out from my arms or something, like sleight of hand style. I guess maybe that's a skill you learn as a bum, is how to like steal stuff in a way that people don't notice, like pickpocketers. Like they like
The
grab your
pick
wallet when you're,
armpit, yeah, for sure.
yeah, and pick armpit, yeah, like, but they did, I thought about that a lot. I'm like, how did they
Yeah.
not? How did I not notice somebody
Right?
took a laptop from under my arm?
But
Because
it's
that's
that
exactly.
distraction, like look over here and you're not thinking about what's happening over
Exactly.
here,
Guitar guy.
right?
Hey, I remember he was asking me some stupid questions. I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to you. What are you talking to me for? Like, give me my guitar. And but I guess they were probably in cahoots. Like, this is what we do. This guy talks while the other guy grabs. But yeah, that was so it ended up being a very expensive day because I lost my laptop, and then the interview ended up not being in the series. But the one thing that came out of the series that was really cool was that I ended up writing a song that ended up in the credits of the Netflix series. And I don't know why people don't actually talk to me about that very often. I've actually had zero people talk to me about that. But if you watch the series, the very last thing in the show is a song, right? And it was written by my band Arcade, and my name's on the writing credits, Justin's name's on the writing credits, and a few other girls are on the writing credit, and it's in the series. And so yeah, I mean, and that was like the big thing that I got out of the series, was that that song ended up in the series. And the thing is, you can't actually find the song very easily, because you know how Netflix likes to cut it off because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
on to the next show, right? Like, we're suggesting
Right.
this and this and this. And so like a certain song, like right after the credits start rolling, a different song starts playing. Some like
Right.
rough and tumble sort of like backcountry song starts playing, and that goes for like 30 seconds or whatever, and then it cuts it off, and the only way to hear the song, which kind of bugged me, was that you have to like pull out your remote and say, no, I don't want to go to the next show, right? No, I do not want to go to the next show. I want to keep watching the credits, right?
So
And
you
if you
have to
do
know it's
that,
there.
right, well, you just have to, yeah, you have to, it's kind of like a hidden thing, right? Because you have to know to tell Netflix, don't go to the next show. I want to finish watching the credits, and then my song comes on. And then it also shows the credits with the name of the song, and all of the details about the song. And so anyway, I thought that I was going to get like a lot of plays on that song because it's in a Netflix series, it's in 100+ countries, but because they buried it so hard and nobody really cares to watch the credits, it ended up not being a song that a lot of people heard. But that was the one thing, like with the series, like I'm like, they interviewed me and then they cut the interview, and then they let me write the song for the series, and then they cut the series before you can hear the song unless you know how to find the song. So there was a lot of things where I'm like,
You're like, what are
like,
you
and then
doing to me, Netflix? Why are you being so rude?
right. And then they said Justin, they were going to put Justin's book, they're going to mention his book in the series, and they didn't do that either. Right. And so there's all these like kind of like things they led us to believe were going to happen in a certain way. And I don't want to blame, the producer of the series, Jared, who I'm really good friends with, because
Yeah.
he actually had to deal with Netflix, right?
Right.
He wanted certain things, but then Netflix comes in, right? And they are and they have their own rules. And so they said, oh, we can't put the book in, right? And Justin wanted to put a bunch of safety guidelines in the series because they wanted people to be safe. They wouldn't let him do that. It's like, you're not going to let me put a little safety card about how to be safe when you're looking for the treasure? They said no. I'm like, that seems like it'd make you more liable. They thought like we're gonna be liable for the safety precautions. I'm like, no, that's gonna make you it's gonna make you less liable, I think. But they wouldn't do that. And so there was a lot of letdown stuff that happened. But
Yeah.
it was still a really cool experience for Justin at least. And like I said, I have this connection now, and we're maybe going to do another series on UFOs and stuff if that works out. Um, but yeah, all of this is because we didn't find the treasure, right? Like that's how this all ended up. And so like
Right.
it's sort of like blessing in disguise sort of thing. Um, it's like, wow, what if, because if he would have found it, he would have had to go into hiding. Well, he would never would have found it because he wouldn't have broken the law. But if Justin had broken the law and found it, he would have been in the same position as Jack Stoof, right?
Right.
Because Jack Stoof couldn't reveal where it was found legally, or he'd go to, he'd get, I don't know, it was a fine or go to jail or something. He couldn't reveal it. And so, Justin would have been in that situation, and he would have been. I mean, how popular is Jack Stoof? Nobody talks about him. He doesn't have anything going
No.
on, right? He's in hiding. I don't know, he's still in Puerto Rico or wherever he is. And he got his treasure, right?
But he
But
didn't, because of how he found it and where he found it, he probably didn't get as much money as he could have gotten.
right. And actually, I don't know. I was actually part of the team, and I won't reveal the other members because that's part of our agreement. But I was
Yeah.
actually the team that bought the treasure.
Oh wow, what was that like?
So
So you
you
got
were
to
part
see
of the
all of it too?
LLC? Wait, you were
Yeah,
part of the LLC?
I was.
Nice.
Yeah. And so part of that is I'm allowed to reveal that I was a part of the LLC, but I'm not allowed to reveal anyone else that was a part of
Oh,
the
for
LLC.
sure.
So it's up to
Yeah.
them if they want to reveal it. But yeah, I was a part of the LLC, and we bought
Yeah.
it from Jack Stoof, and then we auctioned it, right? And then the whole point
Yeah.
was to see if we could make some sort of profit. And we did. We
Sure.
made a profit. Not a whole lot, but we did. It was
I mean, it
a
had to
nice little
be
chunk of
so
change.
cool though to finally get to see the treasure too. Like here it is, like you've been searching for this, and now you own this treasure.
Yeah. We
What was
owned
your
it for a
what was your
few
favorite
weeks.
piece while you were looking at them?
Well, the bracelet. I mean, that was the
Yeah.
coolest piece,
Yeah.
and
And
that's
here Justin just gives it away in his treasure hunt.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big deal for him to
Yeah.
have the dragon bracelet,
Yeah.
and that it really is the prize piece from Forrest Fenn's treasure. The rest of it was
Do you think more than the olive jar? The it's. I mean, it doesn't supposedly is the olive jar has the manuscript.
Well, his
the
life
olive jar
story.
is very interesting. I studied the hell out of that thing, and we didn't know that was kind of the wild card because like we were like,
Yeah.
well, we saw this treasure, and the olive jar is like the thing that who knows how much that'll sell for because it's this big mystery. um and I don't even has that even come out what's in there because the buyer was like, oh, we're gonna do a whole thing with the olive jar, and
So
I
it's
don't know.
John
It's
Collins
rehidden.
Black. He hid
Yeah.
that. He rehid that olive jar, and
Oh,
he
In
really?
his Forrest Fenn
yes, it's in the
box. He
Forrest
opened
Fenn
it,
box.
read it, said there was something more than the manuscript, and rehid it in
Yeah.
his treasure for people to find. So
Oh, he opened it.
he
He
opened
opened it and
read
read
it, yeah, and then sealed it back up and then put it in one of his boxes to be found for
Did he
Yeah.
say
people to
what was
find.
in it?
He
He
didn't
did
give the
not.
details,
He
but
says
he
it's
said it's
for
something more
the
than the
finder to
manuscript.
know, and the finder can decide if they want to share it. Godelka, thank you so much. This is going somewhere. Maybe I need to get back in Discord. And yes, you do, sir. You are missed. So, Froggy, I know you have a question. Let's jump in
I'm
here. What
sorry,
you got?
Froggy.
I know.
He's muted.
You're,
Oh,
you're
he's muted
muted.
yourself.
You're muted.
I'm just a bystander here. I'm just
Oh, I
happy to
thought
be
you were going to
along.
ask a question. Here, I'll
Well,
bring
okay.
this one
I
up.
guess
You went
Yeah.
like
since
this in
you
your
brought it
head,
up,
and I was like, sir,
Yes.
the man in the hat.
I do have
you can
I
ask
do
a
have one
question.
question. Since Tyler, you brought up the arcade, this might be the why I'm here. Earlier on today, there was I didn't discover it. I was just someone slipped me the note, like Justin, an innocent bystander in class. I was just slipped the note, and someone found through some technical means a hidden message in the arcade song. And they said, hey, if Tyler's going to be on tonight, can you ask him if he knows anything about that? Did Justin help anything? So I'll preface it by saying there's a lot of work that went down. A lot of people were involved in it. Not me. I'm just the last person, guy with the funny hat. But there's a message that says the key to one direction lies in another, kind of buried in like a frequency outside of normal hearing in the song. Everyone is buying your song now. So your song, if you check recent hits, you might see a spike in hits on the song. But is there anything you can comment on that?
I knew that there potentially could be a hidden message in the song, because Justin was involved in both the writing of the lyrics and the production of the song, and we did have to give the song to him as a final thing, right? And I was never aware of what was done to the song, if anything. He didn't even tell me that there necessarily would be a hidden message. I suspected there would be a hidden message in there, um, based on one of the things he says in the series is you have to listen, right? That's one of the things he says in the series. And I was like, And Justin, had a hold of my song, and I don't know what he did to it, but he wanted to have it the final like production of the song. And then we got back, and I had to give the version that he had done the final whatever, right? And Justin's very fair. He does not want to give anybody an edge over anyone else, including me. And so I was not I would never know what was in there, or even if anything was in there for sure.
Right.
But just I suspected because of what he said in the series and the fact that he had the song. And so I thought, wow, maybe there is some sort of clue in there. And I kept wondering if something would be discovered about the song. And now that what you're telling me is true, what was what was the message in the song?
I can
You can play
One
it.
Direction.
I can play it real quick.
Yeah.
Here,
Oh, it's a sound bite that you can play.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really cool, man. It's really cool how he did it. So
Okay, let me hear.
The clue.
Wait, say that again.
The key to
In
one
one-
direction
Oh, the key to One Direction.
lies in another.
The key to one direction lies in
The
another.
key to one direction lies in another direction. So another
So,
direction.
Tyler, are you on
got,
Discord?
That's the key.
Is your name? You're on Discord, right? It's just
Yeah.
Tyler.
Yeah.
I can send you the link so you can have it.
Really quick while you do that. What's it called? Billie Jean, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. Did anyone in the LLC get to read what was in the olive jar?
No, because we did not want to. We wanted to
Diminished
advertise that.
value.
Right. We didn't want to say that it had been open. We wanted part of the thrill of the jar was that you got to be the only person to know it was in there. And so
Not in
nobody
the middle.
opened it up. But I definitely studied, and I saw some words. I guess I could maybe grab some. I took pictures of the outside, and you could read through the print. You could read through it a little bit, and you could
Right.
make out some words in there. But they were words that were not anywhere in his book. They were original words of something, right? And so that's all I was able to see. But I didn't open it.
Awesome.
But hey, what at what part in the song was that found? Can you tell me like at what minute or second?
So I believe it's toward the end of. My mind's blanking now at 2:47 maybe. But then there's a shorter 1 minute version, I guess, and it's at the 42nd mark.
Oh, okay. So there might be one because he had both songs. There's the full length song and then the shortened song, and so there might be
or maybe there's another one.
Yeah,
there might be another one. High Pants. Who else were they? Everybody, get back to work.
And
got a whole
get
other one
back
to go
to
through.
work.
Yeah.
Get in there. Make it happen.
Yes. What's it called? Here is the video Froggy did earlier. Everybody needs to go watch it. Go subscribe to his YouTube. It's look it. I mean, Tyler's on here saying that's definitely a clue. So good on you, Froggy. Good on everybody who put in the work, and thank you for sharing. So
Tyler, what's next for you? Are you doing hunts? Are you more about your aliens in your show? What are you up to?
Yeah, I am trying to, well, I'm trying to build up a following on X. I used to be on
Okay.
Reddit and I had millions of karma. I was kind of a real nerd on Reddit and then I got banned from Reddit. And
Wait,
so
wait, okay, wait. There's a story there. You got banned from Reddit?
yeah, we have to hear that.
there's not much of a story. It's really stupid. I called somebody blue MAGA and they said it was a political insult and they banned me permanently. I'm like, wow, I've been on Reddit for years and I was in the point like 0.0005% of karma. Like it was in the like seriously, like they have billions of accounts and I was in the top like 1,000 in the world. And they just
Oh,
banned
wow.
me one day. I was like, how is that even like that's like insinuating that it's an insult to be MAGA, right? Like
Right.
it's like wow, like I don't know what I don't, but it ended up being like I said before, a blessing in disguise because I like X a lot more than Reddit. Reddit is very contrived. It's very monitored and moderated, I'll say,
I
and
always heard it
things
was
get
the Wild West in Reddit.
I struggle with Reddit. I
Yeah.
struggle with Reddit. It's funny. Some guy from Reddit one day, I was sitting on, I'm working and all of a sudden my phone's blowing up and it's Facebook. And some guy
Mhm.
goes to me, "Hi, Emma. I just want you to know I'm sorry for the mean things I said about you." And I'm like, I
Yeah.
mean, can I have some context, please? And he goes,
Mhm.
on Reddit, I made sure everybody knows that you're a control freak and that I hate you. And I'm like, I mean, okay, you're welcome. You don't have to be sorry. Just we're good. He's like, no, 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 because I feel like maybe you're not as bad as I think you are. I'm like, no, I'm as bad as you think I am. It's okay. You can just keep going. It's all
I
good.
am that bad.
And he goes,
Yeah.
no, no, I'm just sorry. And I'm like, listen, bud, I don't even go on Reddit. I would have
Mhm.
never known.
You're
You
okay.
did not have to tell on yourself. I would have never
That's
known you
funny.
hated me. And I promise you, you're not the only one, or even the top 5 haters I have. And it was just
Uh,
crazy. But I'm like,
friend of
that's
our
what you can
show.
expect from Reddit.
Exactly. Friend of our show, Matt Goldfinder. Tyler, did you two ever talk about Wolverines?
No, I have no idea what that is. Seriously,
Oh,
I don't know what that is.
well, it comes from an interview that he just did with Sandal Sandoval. So everybody should go watch it. Sanders, sorry. What's it called? Where he said that when he hid the treasure, he saw an animal that he had seen for the first time. He had never seen it before. And so some
And it was a
people,
Wolverine.
well,
Maybe.
that's the speculation. We were
The
hoping you would.
speculation is he showed Cynthia a picture of a Wolverine and asked her, "Do you know what this is?" Like that, and then was like that. It's okay.
We
You
were
don't have to
wondering,
answer that.
you don't have to answer it.
It's
No,
okay.
I'm answering.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about. I seriously,
Oh,
I don't know what the hell that is. I've never talked about Wolverines with Justin. I don't know.
it's all
Sorry,
good.
yeah.
No,
sorry.
it's okay.
But I guess I'm actually trying to figure out where to build a bunker. I think that there's going to be
Oh, I love
I think
this.
I think that there's going to be um a false flag from our government coming up. They're going to make it seem like there's an alien invasion going on and it's not real aliens. It's just them faking like they're aliens. And it's going to scare the hell out of all of us. And they're going to try and get us to, join in some one world government thing. But I think there's going to be like a world war that's maybe going to happen. I'm not saying for sure, but I feel like I'm trying to be prepared for that in case it does
Right.
happen,
It's a
even
lot
if
of
it's not
places in Arkansas which already have the bunkers built in.
really. Well,
Yeah.
I'm all
Oh,
ears.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking for something like that.
My wife always says that what's it called? Movies that come out all about when you start seeing a lot of movies about the same exact thing, it's predictive programming. So basically, when you start seeing a lot of movies about pandemics and viruses getting out and stuff like that, and oh man, 10 years later, guess what? There's a
Mhm.
pandemic. So,
Yeah.
it's to prepare people. So,
Yeah, I think that when they use movies, I think that the government likes to play games with they go up to producers like Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, J.J. Abrams, Michael Bay, these people, and I think that they say, "Hey, we have some real information about aliens that we would love for you to just bake into your movie as if it's fiction when it's actually true," right? It's sort of a game.
Right.
But the real point of it is to
And
prime
normalize it.
people,
And
prime
normalize
people.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, normalize it and prime people to think that one day aliens are going to come and they're going to get ready to kill us all. And then what are we going to do? We're all going to band together. Like what happens in these aliens movies? The aliens come, they're winning, and then everybody's like, we all got to get
We
together.
got to band
Uh,
together.
yeah, right. That's always the plot, right? And it's
Right.
because they're normalizing it for when they actually come up with this fake alien invasion. And we all remember the movies, right? What happened in the movies, and we just play out what we've been watching for decades, and that's
Hmm.
what ends up um so that's and they're trying to train us for how they want us to react, right? um and like Independence Day is a great example, right,
Yeah.
of the kind of thing that they would want us to, how they want us to react. But yeah.
Well, and even Netflix just had a movie this summer. I cannot think of the name of it with Julia Roberts, where like some kind of invasion. They don't even tell you what it is, but like things kind of go crazy. But prepping you out. It's funny because my friends all make fun of me because I don't know what's coming, but I'm that person who's always prepared, right? And so, like, you
Hmm.
could literally perform a surgery in my basement. I have everything you need. I can probably feed a good chunk of people. I might
Mm,
have more of the things that you're not supposed to say. Wait, I'm not allowed to say anything about like I don't think I can. Look at Froggy's like, don't say it, Emma. Don't say it. I always say things that could get us in trouble or banned, so I got to be careful. But I'm prepared for whatever comes. But
mhm.
I want a bunker too. I just think it would be such a cool thing to have.
Oh, it would be fun to just hang out in there if nothing else. But
Yeah.
but seriously, it would be good just to have one for for a disaster, any sort of
Right.
disaster, right? I mean, it's a good thing to just like a tornado or a war or what if like marauders
Right.
running around the United States, right, with guns, like after there's like a lawlessness or something, like that would be something you'd want to
Right.
hide from. So I think that there's nothing. It's
Right.
expensive, but once you get it done, I think there's
There's
nothing.
ways to
It
cut
can
the
only be good.
cost. So like one day my friend and I walk up to the door and there's like 20 boxes and they're all bright white. And she's like, what the heck did you buy? And it was food from the Mormons. And it's like it was like, oh, this is just food in case the crap hits the fan and everybody knows they're gonna come towards me. I have to be able to take care of the people who expect me to take care of them.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny you should mention that because I was Mormon actually for I think 25 years,
Okay.
and my family definitely did the food storage. One of the prophets in the
Yeah.
Mormon church was a guy named Gordon B. Hinckley, and he
Hmm.
really pushed the food storage thing, right? Be ready,
Yeah.
be prepared. And a lot Mormons really, believe in their prophet. And so my family included, everybody stocked up on all this food, right? They kind of the food storage, right? It was a huge thing.
Hmm.
Everyone would talk about it every Sunday. How's your food storage? And like you're saying, Emma, it wasn't just for you, right? It was so
Hmm.
it's to help your neighbor, right? When you didn't want to have
Right.
just enough for you and your family, you wanted to have an abundance so that people that weren't prepared, you could help them as well.
Yeah.
But then Prophet stopped talking about the food storage after Gordon Hinckley, and so it wasn't nearly as big of a thing. And so what happened was there was all these Mormons that have spoiled food storage these days.
Right.
Um,
I
they're like,
brought a
well, we
bunch
still
of my
have it.
stuff up to Hurricane Helene people. Like I had a ton of stuff. So when Hurricane Helene happened in North Carolina, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, there you go. Here's some food. And it literally it could feed the masses. And it
Hmm.
wasn't something I was planning, but then I just went and I bought more stuff from the Mormons and then they just deliver it to your house. But the thing
Yeah,
I get
Mormon.
made fun of the most is I have a
Hmm.
keychain. You'll laugh at this, but I have a keychain with like every key from every major kind of tractor or like
Mm,
it's got you can literally all large equipment. I have a key for every piece of large equipment that's out there. And people
wow.
make so much fun of me for it. But if I needed to if something goes crazy and I need to get to do something with large equipment, I can get into it and other people can't.
A skeleton key because I thought like they'll work on any sort of tractor of that brand.
I'll
A
show it to you.
skeleton.
I'll send a picture to you so you can
Wow.
see it. You'll be
Heavy
like,
Wow.
what?
equipment keys. Yes, Emma.
I'm
Same.
yes.
Welcome back, Red
Yes.
Never. So
Yes, Red
sorry
Never.
that
Sorry that I
Emma
accidentally
banned
banned
you.
you. I was trying to put your comment up and I accidentally banned you. Sorry, Red Never.
Yeah.
They don't let me
um,
use the technology.
Oh, you have something to say. Hold on.
who?
Oh, sorry. I thought you looked to the right and then you said, I thought you were going to jump into something.
Oh,
So,
no, no. I just um yeah, I don't know. I was just trying to, yeah, my show that I'm trying to do, I'm really trying to get people prepared for, the potential future of things. And one of the people I'm going to have on my show pretty soon is Mark Epstein. I already had him briefly, but he wants to do a whole show. And I'm going to be talking about all of the things that went wrong in the Jeffrey Epstein suicide, the
Right.
suicide that basically zero people believe was a suicide, with all the cameras that went down, the guards that were asleep, the fact that um he has this line across his neck that's a very fine line, like it was like more
Mm-hmm.
like a twine or a wire.
Right.
And they said that they said that he hung himself with the bed sheets, but the bed sheet would never cause that. Like, it's a
Nope.
bloody line. So I mean, he got murdered. And his brother totally believes it. And he actually had his own autopsy done separate from the federal government, whatever they did their autopsy. And his what's the person that does an autopsy, an autopsist? I don't even know what they're called. But coroner maybe. But
Coroner. Yeah.
It's a coroner.
yeah,
Our brother did that job for a while. Is a
Yeah.
coroner.
okay, yeah, coroner. And his coroner said no, this was a murder, right?
Yeah.
And it really and the thing that this is like into the conspiracy theory land, but the only way that he could have been murdered is if somebody at the federal level allowed somebody to do it, right? Because you need to have somebody, essentially you need to have a prisoner that is not a real prisoner, right? Somebody who is let in by somebody higher up, like someone like Bill Barr. And they're an incognito prisoner, right? They're actually incognito, like CIA, and they
Right.
have some fake criminal record. They say, hey, I have a new inmate, and they show up in the orange jumpsuit. And then all you do have to do is turn off the cameras, and then tell the guards to unlock Jeffrey's cell and the cell of the murderer. And then he just walks out, goes in the cell, strangles him, goes back in his cell. They lock up the doors again, turn the cameras back on, and it's really it's not very complicated, honestly.
Really.
And yeah, and when we were doing the research, the breakthrough that we've had, because I've been working with Mark Epstein on this, and one of the things that we recently found out is that there was a certain inmate, and he already said this publicly in the show a couple days ago, so I can say it. His name's Hilliard, Winston Hilliard, which we think is a fake name, because we got a list of all the inmates that were there that night, and we were able to find a criminal record for everybody, right? Every single person on the list. We're like, okay, this is what he did, this is the crime he committed, blah blah blah. We get to this Hilliard guy, no criminal record. He's just a ghost, right? It's like he doesn't exist outside of his name in this jail. He shows up on the 8th, right? Jeffrey Epstein's murdered the night of the 9th, and then Hilliard is gone on the 10th. So they just basically, I think what happened is they found some guy, like the CIA said, okay, we need to get rid of this guy because he has all this dirt on all these
What?
politicians, and so we need to get rid of him. And so they grab some person that is assigned to do these sorts of things. I assume maybe CIA, and they throw him in an orange jumpsuit. They say, guess what? Your name is Winston Hilliard now, and you're going to go to this. You're going to be in this prison from the 8th to the 10th. And on this night, you're going to be your cell door is going to be unlocked. There's going to be a wire that is left by the guard in the cell for you. And all you got to do is between this time and this time, your cell door is going to be open. You just walk out in the hallway, walk into this room, do the strangulation, walk back to your cell, and go back to bed. And then we'll let you out the next day, right? And I think that's how it happened. And honestly, it's not that complicated. Think about it. How easy is that? If you have someone at Bill Barr's level who can tell the guy that runs the prison, the warden or whoever, you say, hey, you have a new inmate. They're showing up on this day, and he's not going to ask questions. Like, okay, all right. So I got a new prisoner on this day, and he shows up, and then he's gone, right? Maybe the warden is like wondering, wow, I wonder who that guy was. But what we're trying to do now is get a video of this guy walking in, because the name is false. It's somebody
Right.
else. So we just need a video of this guy, and we just want to get a picture of him right on the video feed. So we're trying to get a FOIA request made, and then we'll get
You don't
an
think
image
that
of
they
his
would
face.
scrub it though? You don't think it would already be scrubbed?
Well, it would look really bad, but sure, I guess they could do that. But I mean, you make a FOIA request, and you just want to know, hey, the day he showed up, He walked through some cameras and his face was caught on camera. What is that? Well, give us that video, right? And I don't know if we'll be able to facially recognize and match him with somebody, but if we can, then that's kind of the solve right there.
Right.
But anyway, I just wanted to just do a little pitch for something that we're working on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate
of
that.
course.
Hooli asks, can we get
Mhm.
notifications without turning on X notifications?
Notifications from X?
For the people want to know about your show, but they don't want to turn on X notifications. So is there a way to get the notification without turning them on? Like this, actually, if you tell us when it's going on, maybe we can post it in our Discord
We
or
can
something
post
like
it in
that.
our Discord always.
We just have to know when. Yeah. So,
Well,
or
what
you
you
could
could
post it.
well, that's very nice of you guys to ask that. Let me tell you, I don't
Mhm.
post I don't post any spam on my X. If you go to my X feed, it's 100% my
Yeah.
space notifications.
Okay.
So if you just go and turn on all notifications from me and nobody else, you can go into my settings and say turn on all notifications, and then the only notifications you're going to get from me is when I do a show, and it's usually only like 2 or 3 a week. So it's going to be pretty light load on the notifications. So that's one way you could do it. Because I don't have
That's a
notifications on
great way
either.
to do it. So you could turn it on just for you, and you're
Yeah,
only posting about that. So that's a great way to do it.
yeah.
Really quick, what's it called? We did have another Kelly. You don't have to do that.
Kelly
Put in another
Duarte.
$50 saying, who made the illustrations for your song, the Arcada, and what do they mean? Do you know that by chance?
Yeah, I made them. And
Oh,
What?
yeah, and if you think about it, the name of the song
mhm,
matches the book, right? Beyond the Map's Edge.
right.
And if you look at it, it's someone overlooking beyond the map's edge, which would go out into space, right? And since I'm really big into space and stuff, I figured the only like beyond the map's edge would be going off into space. And so it really is my interpretation of what beyond the map's edge would be.
Right.
And then someone else asked about that. Did you help with anything else besides the songs? With
Not with the
Another
treasure
hunt?
hunt.
Yeah.
No, I mean maybe indirectly.
Right.
But no, I didn't directly help with I definitely helped like with the book.
Mhm.
I read early drafts of the book, gave my feedback. I don't know how much of my feedback ended up. It wasn't very helpful feedback. He ended up having a lot of different editors
You're
go
like,
through it.
I did it. He didn't like what I said.
I said some things, I don't know. Um, but yeah, I mean, my story is the only thing really that is really has to do with me that ended up in the book. Um,
When you
but
say your band, do you sing on those songs, or is that like AI, or is that like a band that you actually sing with?
no, it's not my voice. It's real singers.
Okay.
They when I warned them that they were going to be in this Netflix series, they locked down all their social media because they thought they were going to get contacted a ton with all these questions about the song, and I
Right.
didn't tell them. I said, "Hey, you might get contacted because this is going to be and they didn't know it was a treasure hunt at the time. I said, "There's going to be a reason that people might contact you." And then when the series came out, I revealed that there was a treasure hunt and that people might associate the song with the treasure hunt and start bugging them a bunch. And so they're like, "Oh crap!" And so they like locked down all their social media, made them very difficult to find them. And so, but I didn't even get contacted. Not one person reached out to me and said, "Hey, Tyler, thought that your song is at the end of the series, and I know Justin said listen, and so that we think you might be a part, know a clue in your song." Nobody contacted me, and so I knew that if they're not contacting me, they're not contacting them, and so nobody contacted us about the song. And a guy or girl, it's a well, it's female singer. I hope that's obvious by the vocals that it's female. It's
I
not
just think
male.
that there's backup. I think they mean that there's like a backup tone, like a that could be a male.
No, but I do plan on coming out with some more songs, and I do plan to be involved in the singing. I can sing. The voice is a bit annoying though, so I'd probably be more of a backup sort of singer style. But yeah, I haven't gotten around to it, but I definitely plan to release more music.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So like, yeah. So hopefully, like, we got some followers, enough followers with Arcade, and release some more music. And Justin is involved in the band, and so I'll definitely let him take a look at the songs and do whatever he wants to do with them. I don't know if he would do anything else with the songs, but if he wants to, that's up to him. I'd love for him to do something with the songs, obviously, but that's obviously his prerogative.
Right.
Um, I don't
And
know
God
about
knows what he'll do with them. Look, he gave it back to you with a hidden message in it.
exactly. I mean, I appreciate that. Thanks,
Yeah.
Justin. Thanks for sneaking that in there. I figured
yeah.
that maybe happened. It's really interesting to know that it did happen, and then also find out what the message was. So, like, those who have been working on the hunt, is there anybody have any theories as to what that could mean
It
based
literally
on what?
just came out today to everybody.
Yeah. We
And
Well,
listen.
some people
Well,
have had that clue
I mean, yeah.
for a
Well,
for
long
a
they've
while
had
time.
it for a
longer.
while. There was
Yeah.
one person who had it for a long time. And then
And then
Mhm.
what,
there
like
was
the last
two.
5 days or so, that's when it got known that other people had it, and then Froggy got to break it earlier today.
And before we move on completely, I think I was looking at the chat here. They were saying that the man and the woman, they're referencing the cover art. A lot of people are picking up
Oh,
on numbers and arrows and signs and little iconography in the cover art. Was there any significance to that, or?
There's a difference between the Netflix 1 minute version album art and the full song album art. One's a guy, one's a girl. Um, I guess the reason I did that is so I guess one is, I guess, associated with me and the other one's associated with them. I don't
mm,
know. I just wanted to represent both sexes in some way, and so I'm like, oh, I already did the girls, so I'll add a guy this time because I knew I had to do two
right.
different versions. But that was kind of the main, really only the real reason for it.
Did
What about
Justin have
anyone
any
that?
input on
Oops.
that?
Hmm?
Did Justin have any input on that?
Yeah, he did. I talked to him about the album art, and he sort of approved of it. I don't know if it it matches what his idea of what Beyond the Map's Edge is. But he didn't have a problem with it. So he was fine with it. I don't know if he would have said no, I don't want you to try and represent Beyond the Map's Edge in that way. I wouldn't have done it. So I definitely got
Yeah, of
his approval.
course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about anyone who's finding shapes or arrows or numbers hidden in the cracked ground of the? Is there anything to that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Well, we've kept you like an hour and 20 minutes. You've
I
been
was
so
going to ask you
gracious.
something.
Okay. Oh,
Where
sorry.
can they
We're not
get the
done.
song? Is it where can we get the song? I didn't have that up. So
You don't,
Well, it's everywhere. I mean, you can go
yeah.
to, I
It's
mean,
on
if you want,
Apple.
Apple, it's on Apple. I was going to put a
it's,
link, is all. I was going to make it easy for
Oh,
people, but that's all right. Next time I will have a link for people. They'll be able to put it up, or I'll put it up in our Discord, so
yeah, if
they
you
can just
search for
easily
Beyond the,
access it.
yeah, if you go to if you just search for Beyond the Map's Edge, Arcade Beyond the Map's Edge, I mean, if you want to buy the song, as far as like have a physical copy that you can analyze, if maybe there's even more clues. I don't know if there's even more clues in the song. I would guess not, but who knows if there's like a second layer of song. And by the way, Justin did contribute to the lyrics to the song. And so I don't know if that's another angle. But the only way to get an actual digital, like, MP3 or WAV file of the song is to go to Amazon. Everywhere else, I mean, Apple Music and Spotify are basically where people go these days. There's a bunch of other smaller.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's on like 50 platforms. So like,
that's
Yeah.
Spotify. I found that one really quick. So
yeah,
I'll look for the Apple one. I'll try to get it up for people and put in the description so people can easily access it.
One more
So
plug for
cool.
Tyler. I popped in a couple times. He lets you ask Ava questions. I always find that fun. I don't know if it's a regular routine or when you do it, but he opens Ava up and you guys can ask questions to Ava, and it's good stuff.
It is. I
Yeah.
love David. She's fun.
Yeah, she's getting better, and she's better than how she was when I was with Justin. She's not a static job. Like, I'm actually working on making her better and smarter and more able to do investigative research. And actually, something that Justin told me that he wanted to do was he wanted me to we could do some sort of episode where Ava specifically helps people find out maybe where the treasure is, because something that I can do with Ava is I can preload her with all sorts of materials, right? And so we could give her the book, we can give her the website, give her the poem, and we can feed in any sorts of solves that people think that they have. And we could do a space where everybody, kind of like what we did before, um, where people could offer their solves to Ava, and she's very intelligent. I mean, her IQ is somewhere around 160, and so she's very smart, and she's good at speculating, where like you have, you know, a lot of different puzzle pieces and you don't have the whole puzzle, but you have a lot of the pieces. And she's good at figuring out what those missing pieces probably are, right? Like you can give her redacted documents, um, and she can deduce pretty accurately what is most likely behind the redactions. And I don't know if Justin would participate like he did last time, but he would definitely listen in, if not like anonymously, or I don't know if he would he do
Right.
it like publicly or whatever, but he'd be listening. I know he listens into my stuff, and he would listen into that. I know he would listen into that, because that would be too. It's too. It would.
It would be
He'd be too
so
curious.
interesting. How could you not?
Yeah.
I would, of course, help if you needed me.
Right. No, you can. No, you should, because you're the liaison between the communities. So if we wanted to schedule something like that, I don't know when we would do that, but we could, yeah, if you want to set up a time, what is that?
Anytime.
It was plant-based chocolate, so I'm eating healthier now. Plant-based
That,
Reese's.
I
That's
wonder how that tastes.
horrible.
Tastes-
That's horrible.
So
Well,
I
when
Coco
like
is
is
your
regular
correct.
chocolate.
when is your next show coming on X? Really quick.
Saturday
This
at
Saturday?
3 Eastern. Saturday at 3 Eastern is another Ask Ava Anything space. And
Okay.
so if you, yeah, I'm gonna head out now. Yeah, sure, thank you. I was gonna, it's gonna Ask Ava Anything, and you can ask her about the treasure. I mean, that's the point of the space, is there's no reservations. I don't say, oh, you know, we have a specific topic we're focusing on, right? That's a distraction. There's no rules in that regard, unless you're asking for something illegal, right? That's the only rule I have if
Right.
you're trying to get a legal stat. Yeah, so Dark Matters on X is my username. It's at 3 p.m. But
Oops.
then if you guys wanted to let me know, I'd be happy to do a special space just for Ava to investigate potential treasure solves.
100%. We're in. I will message you and we'll get it
Yeah.
moving.
So I would, in this case, I would cater to your audience, what would work best for them. So if you could talk to your audience and come
Sure.
up with a time that works for everybody, then we could set that up, and then we could have it, and we could restrict it as much as we could to the only people that are in this space are people that are trying to find Justin's treasure. And then at the end of the night, we could ask Ava, okay, you've read the poem, you've read the book, you've read all the comments online. We can connect her with all of the Discord chats. We can connect her with all of the forums. We can give her the whole Netflix series, right? We can just flood her with information about the treasure, and then just pummel her with all sorts of solves, right? That other people have given. And then we could be like, okay, based on everything you've heard tonight, where is this treasure, right? That would be pretty fun. And see
You
what she
think
comes up
Justin
with.
will like that? You think he'll be okay with that?
I think he'd
He
love
already
it.
said he'd love. No, he already told me he'd
Oh,
love
I
it.
love it.
I think he'd
Okay.
love it too, because he's, he loves that cutting edge stuff, and I think part of him wants to see if he could trick AI.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, the
true.
whole time that he was writing this book, he's like, I have to make sure that AI cannot solve this easily, because I don't want AI to like spoil the surprise. And so he tried to make it as AI proof as possible, but it's not going to last forever, right? AI is just this rolling stone, right? It's just going to keep it's just going to keep getting more smarter and smarter and smarter, and I think eventually it will solve it. But yeah, I'm trying to build up Ava so she is capable of solving things like this. So I think Justin, of course, he would never say, "Oh, there it is, she solved it." He's not going to say that.
Right.
But I think he would be way too curious about if she is able to solve it, and in his mind, he would be like, "Oh, wow, she just found the treasure." Um, he would just, I think he would be too curious that might happen with the show. So
Oh, for sure.
let's see if we can get Ava to solve it. And if anybody ever finds the treasure, then we can see if Ava did solve it. We can retroactively go back to the show. I'll obviously record it. And we'll go back and take a look and see if she actually figured it out. And And like I said, she's getting smarter and smarter. I'm trying to get her IQ up through the roof. And so we could maybe do one every, month or something and see if like she gets
Oh
better and better
yeah,
and better. You know what I mean?
that
Yeah.
would be fun. That
Yeah,
would be
last
fun.
question, because True's been asking questions and I've missed it all night, and so I didn't want to miss his questions. So, did Justin have a pet raccoon when you and him became friends? And here's the link, by the way. Thank you so much. Hooli, who's the best?
Hooli is the best.
No, Justin did not have a pet raccoon. I know that that's part of something in his book. Justin and I were friends. We became better and better friends. We were definitely friends in high school, or I'm sorry, middle school, and then we were better friends in high school, and then better friends in college. And so, but when he had his raccoons, I wasn't around. I wasn't really aware of that if that was happening. So I apologize.
No, don't. It's okay. You're not going to always have every answer. That's what we have Ava for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Well, thank you
Well,
so
thank
much.
you so much for
Yeah.
coming. We really
Yeah, you're welcome.
appreciate it. If you want to just stick around for half a second when we end this stream, guys, we know we've gone over an hour, but how do you cut this off? Even right now,
Wait.
what
does it
oh
say?
gosh. Is it
Free
say free
Scott.
Froggy?
Oh
You're
my
out of
God.
here. You're out of here, Froggy.
Sorry.
Okay. Tyler, thank you so much for your
Thank you,
time.
Tyler.
Froggy, thank you for coming on. We certainly appreciate it. And guys, thank you everybody in the room who stayed so late. We really, really appreciate you. We'll see you
Yeah.
next week on Wednesday night, guys.
Okay. See ya.
No, don't leave.